Well, welcome back for another episode of Penny's Hot Rod and Customs. Just old Derek again. Just working on the 7 horsepower Stickney. And yes, you see, it's blue. I didn't show anything of using a spray bomb. It's not a big deal, but I went with a trim clad dark blue. Usually I used a single stage polyurethane paint, and then I spray it on. But time I get the paint and the chemicals and everything, I'm already a couple $100. And I figured, well, I'll try a spray bomb. Usually I don't paint stuff with a spray bomb because, I don't know, I just don't find the quality of that as good. But whatever, Trim Clad's got a good name, so. But the problem is, already to paint the parts I've already done, and this block, that's $100 of spray bombs I've already, $100 I spent in spray bombs. So it is what it is. But today is going to be kind of an odds and ends day thing. I don't feel like working on my mom's truck. I've been welding, so taking a break from that. So today, like I said, I've neglected this engine way too many times, but I actually had the valves and everything all lapped in. They were done. Like, there's still lots of margin left on that valve. That's pretty good shape, actually. But, of course, it got rusted. I was just playing with it a little bit, but I checked inside there. Yeah, the exhaust seat got a bit of rust on it. That's the exhaust seat back here. The intake seat is over here on the carb. But, okay, but we'll put the exhaust seat in. Can't get my hands in there. I can do it here and lap it this way. Put some lapping compound on it and lap it that way. Well, I'm old. My arms are sore. My wrists are sore. So I want to do an easier way. I came up with this idea. We'll just put a nut on here. If the nut will start one day. Oh, there we go. Of course, I'll tighten it up later, but and then put a rod through here, just like this. Oh, you see, but I'll have to tighten everything up, and then put the drill on this end, and then I can just slowly go back and forth and lap the valve in, just like that. And that's how we're going to lap the valve on this guy. And then maybe after that one, maybe we'll make an intake valve. I know it broke. That was the intake valve, but it broke. I got all the measurements and everything, but so we'll do that one after. But right now we are going to lap an exhaust valve in by my little homemade tool thing. So I'll get it set up, and then I'll set the camera up, and you guys can watch me for a few minutes, like 30 seconds, 10 seconds of lapping the valve. Alright, this is my cheesy little setup. I do have a, we'll just call it another bronze bearing there to keep everything straight. My little homemade rod is a little off, but not going to affect anything. And all I do is just put it reverse. Oh, reverse forward. And that's how I lapping this valve. It'll take a little bit to get all the rust off of it, but I did grind this sheet many years ago, so. And there, I just push my bronze back in there. That keeps everything straight. And you gotta make sure you don't put any lapping compound on this stem here, just on the head of the valve. So, and I'll lap a little more, and then I'll pull it out and clean everything up and see where we're at. But it would help if I made my little thing straighter here. But oh well, it'll work. Okay, I think I did 3 different laps, maybe a couple of minutes, and that was it. I really cleaned. Now we're going to test it. So I cleaned out the valve sheet inside there. Got all the locking compound stuff off. I cleaned the valve off. Now I put, I just use just a felt marker, 4 spots. I'm going to put the valve back inside here. And I want to see how well the valve sheet. Okay. So, what I do, I got that in there tight. Now, I just want to give it just a, just go back and forth, but just a little twist. I don't want just a 1/16 of an inch. Just twist back and forth. Okay, and push it back out. And now, I look at my spots, and I can see, you can see I just did that little twist. I cut through all my black mark, my ink. So I know this valve is seated. I might do it one more time. I'm not too happy about that one. I could do a little bit better on that, but you can see these 3 cut nice. So, and that's how you lap a valve. Technically this valve would be done, but I'm a little anal at things. I kind of like my stuff really nice, so. But then this is done. I'll just quickly throw this in lathe just to buff up the valve stem. Kick any paint off or just little any rust. But then that part's done. Yeah, once I clean that up, and I guess we will start roughing a valve out. I've already started roughing out my this is the blank for my new intake valve. I just thought I'd show you guys just breaking chip. I'll be here for a little while. I'm taking about 200 thou cut each time. So, I'm not going to record the whole thing, but you'll see how it's done a bit. Okay, I'm just taking a little break from doing the finishing cutting on the valve, let it cool down. This is the second part what we have to do on putting the new valve into the new sheet here. That's the valve sheet here. So, since this is factory, it's never been cut or anything, it'll be out of shape. Just normal, just from normal wear and tear. So what we're going to do, we are going to grind a new sheet in here that's going to be straight off when you put your new valve in here, and you'll have a nice face. And this will be the stone we'll be using. This is the what we're going to call a roughing stone. And give me a second. And this is a lot finer, so this is going to be our finishing stone. But before that, these stones right now are cut at 45 degrees. And sometimes they're used, it's not this one here, 45 degrees. The valve sheet and the valve, they're at 30 degrees. A lot of older engines were kind of oddballs, that's 30 degrees. They want like 45 or 65 or 60, sorry. So what we got is this tool here. This is going to dress our new sheet. And you can see on the witness marks here, you got a 15, a 30, a 45, and a 60, and a 75. And what you do is you set that up, tighten it where you want. We're going to want somewhere right about here. I'll set it up and then tighten it. And then you put our stone. This spins around like crazy. And right there, there's a diamond tip. And this will cut our cutter into 30 degrees. And then when that's done, now we got to somehow hold it center here. Well, I know this guide is worn a bit, but I measured up. I think it's out about 4 thou, which is fine. I don't care. If I was really picky, I would sit there and and machine this out and put a new guide in it, but for the wears on it, it's fine. So I do it the lazy way. Usually when you get a pilot guide like this, it's solid. Well, this is, I call the lazy way. It expands here because you have a nut, a bolt here, and then it expands, tightens up. So you can be, I don't know, 5 thou off, and this will still work. So you hit the tight spot. I know that's my tight spot there. It's my little 5/16 wedge. And just tighten it up. And you want to make sure you're always inside the casting here, because if you get those little fingers on this pilot shaft, you'll break those fingers. So you got to use some common sense. Should be coming up to it somewhere. There we go. We're snug. That doesn't move. So I'm centered from my valve guide here right to my valve seat. So what I'll do, I'll set this up, and then you guys can see me reseating a valve stone. Alright, I got everything set up. We're at our 30 degrees. I clamped it down. This will spin about 10,000 RPMs, and I'll feed this, tighten it up, feed it till I get a perfect 30-degree face on here. And I got safety glasses on because this thing spins at about 10,000 RPMs. And this is something you don't want to breathe. This stuff is actually bad for you. But, oh well. And you can see we got a new face here. This is a perfect cut now. I'll put it back in. I'm just going to go really slow. That way I don't get no little lines in it. But that was just rough it out really fast. And now I'll just give my fine little adjustment. There you go. Now you see a nice perfectly, this is 30 degrees now. And since I've done this and I'm already set up, I may as well do the finishing stone. Put that one down here. And here's my finishing stone. It's perfect. I'll back it off. Ooh. That ought to back off. I can make it. Okay. And here's the second one. Make sure it's all tight. Bend. There we go. We got our new face here. Alright, I'll clean this off, and then we will grind the new valve sheet and intake. Now, this is just a protractor. I've got it set at 30 degrees. And that's bang on. So, Now we'll put this guy here. Just give it a little spin. Okay, nothing's gonna hang up on it. Put that guy back there. And then there is supposed to be, not here, but supposed to be a little, I got it way down too far, a little spring just to hold this up, but when you're not cutting it, but usually I just grab it, so. You can see we're starting to cut a new sheet in here. It's going to take a little while. Just back and forth. I know you can sit there and hammer on it, but I like to be easy on my tool. And always make sure you're not wearing out on here too, so cause your stone can wear out. You just want to make sure there's no gouges or anything. I just take my time and get it down where I'm happy with it. And then we got a brand new valve sheet. And I've had in the past where these were so bad, I set this back up on the mill, and I would chew this out and I would put a new valve sheet and start one from scratch. Because sometimes these things can be hammered out, cracked, or... But there's a million ways to fix these guys. That's why I like these old engines. They're simple to work on. Should have got a little more of a roughing stone, but this will work. You can see. Alright. I'll bring you back. You don't need to see how I do the finishing one, but I'll show you when it's all done. Alright, I did a couple cuts. I'm very happy how the new sheet is. You can see that's very good. And I just use, like I said, my finishing dressing stone, and that just polish it up just perfect. So now I guess I have no choice to finish the valve off, and then that way this guy is done. And then also you got to make sure when to take everything apart, make sure all this grinding compound stuff is out of here, because it will chew metal away. It's pretty tough stuff. So. And that's how to grind a valve sheet. Like, of course, on cars, not or better engines, you know, the old V8 and V6, that they have hardened sheets in here, and you got to machine them. But these engines can run on old cast iron sheets. So, alright, I guess now we'll go finish the valve off. Anyway, I've got the valve cut to the length and the size I wanted, and I even put a little radius in, just like the old valve. It had just a little radius. Just used this little insert and cleaned it, matched it all in, perfect, done. Now I've already set my compound up. We need to put a 30 degrees cut into here. So what I'm going to do, I've already turn my witness mark on the compound to 30 degrees. I'll lock the right over here, and then I will use this guy to go back and forth and until I get to the size that I want, and pretty much done for the valve. Till I get that, and then of course we'll have to lap it in, but then that part, and then I can pardon the valve off, and we got a brand new valve. Alright, so I'll start cutting and put that chamfer on just like that. Something like that, so. Alright, got the apron locked down, not going to go anywhere. Got everything set. Now I'm going to move my compound back and forth. No cut there. Not enough yet. Don't need to go crazy at it, so you take your time. And you can see I'm already starting to get a 30-degree face on it, just like this guy, so. Alright, I'll spend a bit of time to get that done and then we'll lap her in. Well, I was able to get the new valve in. It's already been lapped in. Good. It moved good. I'm happy. It's good clearance. I just bolted the carburetor on just to see how everything lined up good. So I think next time we'll clean the lines out, maybe install the head on. Oh, we should put the piston in and start putting things back together, and it'll start looking like an engine. But the only problem is the flywheel. Once I put the crankshaft in here, the engine's up not high enough. So I got a table to put this on, but the table's about 2 feet, and maybe I'll lift this engine up 2 feet in the air. So I'll do it. It's just not going to happen today. So, but it will be on the next video. It should be up on the table. That way I can put the crankshaft in, put the piston in, and then work on putting the flywheels on and all the other stuff. And then the last what we have to do is work on the igniter. Igniter is easy. I'm not worried about that one. And then we should be able to make some noise with this guy. And I think I'm going to maybe try to make a homemade cart for this thing, just because it's going to be heavy to move around. And just, I'm not getting any younger, so. And I did spend a bit of time cleaning out all my passage here, and you can see all the junk I got out of there. It's just lime deposit, a bit of junk, and just sat there with a wire in the water passage, just cleaning it and then blowing it out with air. So, but gonna leave the video with this one, and catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.